Hello students. Today we are going to discuss an important topic of electrochemistry. In electrochemistry, you know that we discuss the different type of cells, that is electrochemical cell as well as the electrolytic cell. One of the different type of cell is concentration cell. As the word itself indicate that this cell is concentrating toward the concentration or the difference in the concentration. Now we will discuss about the concentration cell. Before going to the exact definition, we have to understand what actually the concentration cells look like. It is similar to the galvanic cell or the electrolytic cell. It's visible. Galvanic cell or the electrolytic cells having the two container. One container is anode and this is cathode. Let it be indicated by A for anode and C for cathode. Okay, and it is connected to the external circuit. Suppose this anode is made up of zinc. Also this cathode is made up of zinc. It means I want to say that both the electrode are made of the same material. As well, the electrolytic solution filled is zinc sulfate ZnSO4. Here also ZnSO4. You are thinking that both the cells are different. Both the cells are similar. Yes, there is a small difference of concentration. This difference can be of the difference in the concentration of the electrodes as well as the concentration of the electrolytic solution. Majorly we will discuss about the difference in the concentration of the electrolytic solution. Suppose this electrolytic solution is 2 molar electrolytic solution and this electrolytic solution is about suppose 2.5 molar electrolytic solution. Electrode is of the same material and the electrolytic solution is of the same material, but the only difference is of the electrolytic solution. Hope you understand what is the concentration cell. Concentration cell is a special type of a galvanic cell in which both the electrode is of same material and the electrolytic solution is of same material, but these electrolytic solution differ in their concentration. Now it's time to discuss about the actual definition of the concentration cell. Now, concentration cell, as the word indicate, a concentration cell is a form of a galvanic cell. I already told you, is a form of a galvanic cell having two equivalent half cell of the same material. I already told you of the same material, that is same electrolyte as well as the same electrode. But very important point, but only differ, I have to write differ here, but only differ with respect to concentration difference. Okay, now if the material is made up of the same material, then anode and cathode is of the same material, so E naught, that is standard electrode potential, is 0. Why 0? Because it is 0 because both electrode is of the same material. There will be no difference in the potential, standard potential. Obviously its standard electrode potential, that is E naught cell, will be 0 because the potential of cathode as well as the anode will be equal, so their difference come out to be 0. Remember a very important question asked in the previous examination, that in concentration cell standard electrode potential is 0. Okay, now the transfer, very important point, transfer of matter from one half cell to the another half cell occur due to the difference in concentration of electrolyte. Due to the difference in the concentration of electrolyte or electrodes pressure. I will explain you later. Pressure in two half cell. In this concentration cell, it is visible to you, the transfer of material or the electron occurs from anode to cathode is only due to the difference in the concentration. If there is no difference, then the cell stop working. It means the driving force for the working of the concentration cell is the difference in the concentration. Very important point. The driving force for the working of the concentration cell is the difference in the concentration of electrolytic solution in both the compartment, that is oxidation compartment, or the reduction compartment. Okay. Now, or it's very obvious, you know, that the concentration or the material transfer from higher potential region to the lower potential region, it is the law of science. And the transfer of material, that is electron or electrolytes, both can be transferred depending upon the type of cell, lead to the chemical reaction in electrochemical cell, which always occur from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Okay, from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Till now you understand what is concentration cell. Now move toward the mathematical equation of the concentration cell and how to solve the numericals related to the concentration cell. Our main focus is to the NEET as well as the JEE competitive examination, not to go into the depth of the concentration cell. Hope you know that what is the Nernst equation. You know what is the Nernst equation? Nernst equation is E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.059 upon n log product upon reactant. Very clear to you? It is the Nernst equation. Okay. As I already told you, in the concentration cell, this E naught cell is 0. E naught cell is 0. So we can write this Nernst equation for the concentration cell as, very important question that is asked in the previous year question. So I mentioned PYQ. Nernst equation for the concentration cell, as E naught cell is 0. So we can write that E cell is equal to 0.059 upon n log product upon reactant. Okay, because E naught cell is 0 at 298 Kelvin, it is assumed. And also at all temperature we can write it as minus RT upon NF log product upon reactant, because similarly E naught cell is 0. It is the different form of Nernst equation which is applicable to all the temperature, and this form is applicable, and most of the question asked on this form only at 298 Kelvin. Now it's time to discuss the different type of the concentration cell. As you will see, types of the concentration cell. Types of concentration cell. There are the two different type of the concentration cell, that is electrode concentration cell. As the word itself indicate that electrode concentration cell is that cell where there is a difference in the concentration of electrode. And electrode is mostly made up of solid. Sometimes electrodes are made up of the gaseous material. In the gaseous material, the pressure of the gaseous material, that is hydrogen, maybe chlorine electrodes, differs in anode as well as the cathodic compartment. This will result into the electrode concentration cell. Another is very obvious, electrolytic concentration cell or electrolyte concentration cell, yani that concentration cell in which there is a difference in the concentration of the electrolyte in both the compartment. And this electrolyte concentration cell is of two different types, that is without transference and with transference. But dear students, it is beyond the syllabus of our NEET as well as the JEE examination, so we will not go into the depth of the types with transference or without transference. Okay. We will just focus on the electrolyte concentration cell and the electrode concentration cell. Okay, now move on to the different type of cell. The first, hope it is visible to you all. Now the first type is electrode concentration cell. As the definition indicate, the differ in the concentration or pressure if the electrodes are made up of the gaseous material. We use the word pressure. We use the word pressure of electrode in both the half cell. It means that electrodes or that concentration cell in which the electrodes have the different pressure. This is the representation of the electrode concentration cell, or the cell representation of the electrode concentration cell, where you are seeing that hydrogen having the pressure of P1 and the hydrogen gas having the pressure of P2. It means the anodic compartment have the hydrogen gas at different pressure, and the cathodic compartment hydrogen gas is at different pressure. It means they are differ with each other in terms of the pressure, but their concentration, H plus ion, which is present in the electrolyte, have the concentration C, and here in the cathode as well the concentration is C. It means in this cell representation it is obvious that the pressure of the hydrogen gas in both the compartment is different, but their concentration is same. So hope you understand. This cell representation can be written as in this form. And you can see that H2 at P1 pressure result to the 2H plus 1 ion plus 2 electron at anode. Similarly, the reaction reversed at the cathode, 2H plus 2 electron H2. And you are seeing that the electron are at opposite side, it will be cancelled out. It will be cancelled out, as well as a 2H plus ion and 2H plus ion with the same concentration is going to cancel out. If the concentration is different, then you could not cancel it. So this also cancel out. Here this case H2 and H2 is in the opposite side, but we could not cancel it because they have the different pressure. And after that we can write the concentration cell or the complete cell reaction as, okay, here H2 at P2 is the product and H2 at the pressure P1 is the reactant. So as we know that the way of writing of the Nernst equation or the Nernst equation for the concentration cell, E cell is equal to minus 0.059 upon 2. Why 2? Because there is a 2 electron undergo the exchange. Okay, minus 0.059 upon 2 log product upon reactant, and product H2P2, the product pressure 2 upon P1. And if we remove this minus sign, the log get reversed. E cell is equal to 0.059 upon 2 log P1 upon P2. For this reaction to be spontaneous, very important point, we want that the concentration cell, electrode concentration cell, continue to work. It will work continuously if the reaction undergo in a spontaneous way. So for the reaction to be spontaneous, the log P1 upon P2 should be greater than or equal to 1. P1 upon P2 should be greater than equal to 1. So we can write it as P1 upon P2, P1 upon P2 is equal to 1. Okay, it is equal to 1, or we can better be greater than 1, greater than 1. If it is greater than 1, you will approach to the condition, lead to the condition that P1 greater than P2. For the reaction, for the electrode concentration cell reaction to be spontaneous, P1 should be greater than P2. P1 should be greater than P2. Now move to the another type of the concentration cell, that is electrolyte concentration cell. It is very similar to the previous type of the cell. Only difference is it differ in the concentration of electrolyte, not the electrode. Here there is a difference of the concentration in the electrode, but here the difference of the electrolytic solution. Now PT, why PT? We are using the PT because the hydrogen could not itself act as an electrode. Platinum as an inert electrode get absorb the hydrogen gas. Yani ki PT, it means PT is going to act as an adsorbent, okay. H2P, H plus C1 and H plus C2 and H2P and PT. You are seeing that the hydrogen gas P1, P pressure, and here the P pressure. H plus ion which is present in the electrolyte at C1 concentration and H plus ion which is at the cathode side at the C2 concentration. It means unlike the previous type of the cell, it differ in the type of the concentration of the electrolyte. After that we can write the reaction at anode as well as the cathode. We observe that the electron exchange get cancelled out, as well as the hydrogen also get cancelled out, okay, and 2H plus C2 and 2H plus C1, and this 2 obviously it get cancelled out, and it means we get H plus at C2 concentration in the reactant side and H plus at C1 concentration at the product side. So we can write the Nernst equation here as in terms of concentration cell, because in the concentration cell E naught cell is 0. For the concentration cell, E cell is equal to minus 0.059 upon 2 log product upon reactant. Here the product is C1 concentration and the reactant is C2 concentration. By removing the sign, the log get reversed, 0.059 upon 2 log C2 upon C1. Again, for the reaction to be spontaneous as the previous type, C2 upon C1. C2 upon C1, this C2 upon C1 should be greater than 1, should be greater than 1. If C2 is greater than 1, then we will get or approach to the condition where C2 is greater than C1 for the reaction to be spontaneous. Many times this question is asked in the previous examination. For the electrolyte concentration cell, what is the relation between the two different type of concentration? The final or the product side concentration should be greater than the reactant side concentration. Okay? C2 should be greater than C1, and here for electrode concentration cell, P1 should be greater than P2. Okay, it's all about the concentration cell. Let's revise what is the concentration cell, where the electrode is made up of the same material as well as the same type of electrolytic solution, only difference in their concentration. E0 cell is 0. After that we will reach to the special type or a special form of the Nernst equation where E0 cell is 0. So we write the concentration cell equation in terms of Nernst as such, you already know. And after that we will discuss, we discussed about the types of the concentration cell, and these are the type of the concentration cell. Okay, after that we discussed the two different type of electrode concentration cell, where the spontaneous condition, I am focusing to the important point, where the spontaneous condition for the reaction is P1 should be greater than P2, and similarly in the electrolyte concentration cell, you are saying that C2 should be greater than C1 for the reaction to be spontaneous. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Meet you in the another important video or related to the electrochemistry topic. Thank you all.